السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that to bless this gathering and to make it a gathering that is witnessed by the angels, even though when people are at distance and everybody might be in the comfort of their homes. But since this is the only means that, or the feasible means nowadays for people to learn because of the situations that we're facing, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's the one that blesses our actions and our deeds according to our intentions. So seeking rewards from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone, seeking the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone, to make us among the people of the Quran, to make us among those who recite the Quran the way it ought to be recited, by understanding what it means and memorizing it and acting according to the book of Allah. We are in Surah Al-Bayyinah, and inshallah ta'ala today we'll go through word by word in the surah, inshallah, and there's still some things to be done in the surah and the benefits to be learned and so on. So if you have a mushaf, open the mushaf, and this is more of the more effort that each and every one of us put in the session, the more blessings inshallah ta'ala we receive. So open the mushaf inshallah ta'ala if you have it with you, and look at the words of the surah. So the first ayah, لم يكن الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب. So it starts with lam, and lam means not. It's negating something. So lam means not. Lam yakun. Yakun means where, right? Lam yakun. And when we look at the ayah, let me see here the translation, just to read for you the translation of the ayah. First, it says, those who disbelieve from among the people of the scripture and among al-mushrikeen were not going to leave their disbelief until there came to them clear evidence. So lam yakun, lam not, yakun means where. So it was not, or so this is from kana yakun, and the root of it is kaf waw noon. Lam yakun alladhina, those who, in the plural, kafaru, disbelieved, comes from the three letters kafara. And as we said, the linguistic meanings is it helps, but the terminologies are not just to be explained in the linguistic meanings. So even though kafara means to cover something, but here kafaru means they disbelieved. They disbelieved in the truth that the Prophet ﷺ came with. So in the ladina kafaru, min alladina, so min means from, min ahli kitab. Ahli is the people of. Ahli is the ahli of someone. Ahl al-Nabi, the family of the Prophet ﷺ. So Ahl, the people of. Ahl al-Quran, the people of the Quran. Ahl al-Kitab, al-Kitab is the book, and refers to the people of the book, meaning the Jews and the Christians. Wal mushrikeen, and the mushrikeen. Mushrikeen is the plural of mushrik. Mushrik is one. Mushrikeen are many, and comes from shirk. Shin, ra, kaf. Sharaka. And sharaka as a verb is when there's partnership. And that's why a company, it's called sharika, because it's partnership. Al-musharaka is to make partnership. So al-mushrikeen, those who they take partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one that deserves to be worshipped. Munfakkina, the word munfakkina means to be abandoned, right? Munfakkina comes from, the root of it is fa, kaf, kaf. You see the shadda on munfakkina. So fa, ka, ka. This is basically the root of it. And munfak and munfakkina is the plural, and munfak is one. To be abandoned. But the meaning of something when it's munfak or infak, when something is untied, when something was tied and then it become loosened, right? Or this is a word that is, for example, fakku raqaba, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran. One of the good deeds is to make fakk raqaba. Raqaba is the neck. To fakk raqaba, that means you free a slave, because the slave, as if there is a thing around his neck, you undo this, you free a slave. So this is munfakin, that means they're abandoned or relieved from or away from. So منفكين حتى till until تأتيهم. تأتيهم, there come to them. تأتيهم, hum at the end is the plural, and تأتي come. So this is in the present tense. Al-Bayyinah. Al-Bayyinah means the clear evidence. From ba, ya, noon. Al-Bayyinah. From the bayan and yubayyin Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make things clear. And bayn is when you say bayn, which means between. And what it comes from the same thing, because when there's someone in between two things, these two things becomes clear. They're not confused with one another. So al-bayyinah is when it brings matters to be clear and not confused. Rasul, messenger, from Sin Lam, Rasul min Allah, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yatlu reciting. Yatlu reciting. Lam, well, is the root of it. And tilawa, the original meaning of a tilawa is when something follows something. So when a person is reciting, he's reciting one verse after the other, and also following the recitation with actions. So it's also the actions is meant there too. Suhufan means pages, that's plural. Suhuf, and one is sahifa. So thing that is pages opened, Suhuf Ibrahim or Musa and so on. Suhufan mutahara, purified, from tahara, and tahara is to be purified and so on. So it's purified. Fiha, where in it, kutubun, kutub, that means writings or books, but here it refers to writings. From kataba, yaktubu, kutuban, qayyima, kutubun qayyima, correct, upright. From qama yaqum. So qayyima is from qaf, waw, mim, is like correct, the same thing, or the same root of qama yaqum, stand up for something. And something qayyim, that means something is valuable, something that is truthful and so on. Wama, and not tafarraqa. Tafarraqa means became divided. From fa, ra, qaf. Wama tafarraqa, they have not been divided or split. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِذْ فَرَقَنَا بِكُمُ الْبَحْرِ, saying to Bani Israel, when we split the sea for you. Right? And fariq, and the same word as fariq. Fariq is a group. Fariqun fil Jannah wa fariqun fil Sayr, a group in Jannah and a group in Hellfire, because they split. So الذين, after that, those who وَمَتَفَرَّقَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابِ, أُوتُوا, they were given al-kitab, the book, إِلَّا, until or except, إِلَّا, min, after, ba'd, after which or after though, ma, min ba'di ma, after, so min ba'di ma, after which that came to them. جاءتهم, hum at the end is the plural, and جاءت means came, and the root from it comes from jin ya alif. جاءتهم, came to them. Al-Bayyinah, the clear evidence again. Wama, which means wama umiru, and they were not ordered or commanded. From amr, they were not ordered. Illa, except. Illa liya'budu. Illa liya'budu Allah. Illa liya'budu. Here you have liya'budu, lam, and ya'budu, and ya'bud, and then the waw alif at the end. And lam here is the reason. They call it lam al-ta'lil, the lam of reason. So they did not split, or they were not ordered except to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Illa liya'budu, so that they would worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And ya'bud is worship, and the waw alif at the end for the plural. Illa liya'budu Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Mukhlisina lahu din. Mukhlisina means sincere. From kha, lam, sad. And khalas al-laban is when they purify the milk. And as we mentioned before, the meaning of khalas or ikhlas, linguistically, it means that you have to do something to purify it. It's a word that is not, it does not call, or it does not refer to those who are pure by themselves, by default. No, it's a word that is used for something that get purified. So there's actions has to be done to purify. And that's what al-ikhlas is. So mukhlisina lahu, to him, ad-din. Ad-Din is the religion. Same three letters are the root. Hunafa means they call it upright from Hanafa, even though the root of it means to be bent or to be away from something to something. This is al-hanf. This is when a child, for example, his legs are not straight. This is they mention the same word. So hunafa means they turned away from other than Allah to turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They turn away from shirk to be upon the tawheed. And that's what the name is for. Which shows also that for a person to be upon the tawheed, he has to turn away from shirk. Like al-ikhlas. وَيُقِيمُ, and they would establish from the same as mentioned before. وَيُقِيمُ الصَّلَاةِ, the prayer, from Sad, Lam, Waw, and the Salah refers to dua and the connection. وَيُؤْتُ, as mentioned before, and to give as zakah. Zakah, which is as known as zakah, comes from purification. Zay, kaf, waw. وَذَلِكَ, and that, dinu, the deen of Al-Qayyimah again. The deen of Al-Qayyimah. Then the next ayah, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, indeed, الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, those who disbelieved, من أهل الكتاب, from the people of the book, والمشركين as mentioned before, في نار جهنم, in the nar of Jahannam. في نار جهنم, nar from noon, waw, ra, as you see, has resemblance of the light. So nar Jahannam is a name, so it does not have a root to it. This is Jahannam, one of the names of the hellfire. Khalidina, abiding in it forever, from Kha, Lam, Dal. And Al-Khulud is eternity. And anything that stays in one place for a long time. And here means eternity. Fiha, in it. Ulaika, they are the ones, Ulaika, hum sharrul bari. They are shar, the worst of the creatures. Shar, since there's a shadda, so the root of it is sheen, ra, ra. Al-Bariya is the creation, from the word Bariya, from Bara'a, which is the initiating of the creation. The initiation of the creation also. أولئك هم شر البرية. Then إن الذين آمنوا, believed, ألف Hamza ألف ميم, آمنة, وعملوا, and they did, in the plural tense as well, ألف, وعملوا الصالحات. الصالحات comes from صاد لام حاء, الصلاح, upright, righteousness. أولئك هم خير البرية. They are خير. خير is the opposite of shar, the best, and the same three letters are the root of it. خير البرية, the bariya, the creation, the creatures, from ba, ra, alif. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the bari, the one that initiated this creation. جزاؤهم, their recompense or their reward. جزاء comes from jim, zay, ya. Jaza. And jaza with a hamza. جزاؤهم, their jaza, their recompense. جزاؤهم عند ربهم. عند with ربهم, their Lord. رب is the Lord, ربهم, their Lord. جنات عدن, jannat, gardens. عدن is the name. There's no root to it, which means eternity. تجري, flow, runs. من, from. تحتها, underneath it, and the alif refers to the jannat. Al-anhar, the anhar is the plural of nahr, and the nahr is the river, and nahara means something flowing. Khalidina, abiding in it forever. Fiha, in it. Abada, forever. It says abadan, forever. Same, abad is 3 letters. Radya, will be pleased. Radya, pleased. From ra, dad, waw. Radiyallahu, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased anhum, with them. Waradu, and they are pleased. Waw, alif is for the plural, an, with him. ذلك, that. Liman, for whoever. Liman, khashiya means feared, Rabbah, his Lord. Khashiya, the same 3 letters is the root of it. ذلك liman khashiya Rabbah. This is for those who feared Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is briefly the kalimat, or the words of the surah. And we should by now, those who did not have it memorized, they should have it memorized, inshallah. If you're not, please make sure that you memorize it, inshallah. And we'll continue tomorrow with the benefits that we learn from the surah, inshallah, after we mention the tafsir. Barakallahu fikum. صلى الله وسلم وبارك على محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم. سبحانك اللهم ربنا وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.